Dedicated group this morning. I appreciate you guys coming out. How many people are here for the first time for 1 million cups this morning? Wonderful. Welcome. Everybody else already knows the stuff, but for you, 1 million cups is a weekly event we have here where two startups from the community come out and present what they're building here for about 6 minutes. Then there's 20 minutes of Q&A from the audience, from you guys asking questions, providing advice, things you notice, but also most importantly, making connections to the folks up here through your mental Rolodexes, helping them get customers or suppliers or whatever it is they need. We built really cool things here in Tampa Bay. We get to see two of them this morning. We could not do it without the help of the local entrepreneur, Kawa Coffee, who provides us the delicious coffee. Much needed this morning. It's very wet. The coffee is wonderful. And I highly recommend on non-Wednesday mornings you purchase their products. They're great. My name is Sean Kennedy. I'm an organizer of 1 Million Cups, along with Marianne, Danielle, JJ Roberts. JJ, who braved the wet to bring our coffee this morning. It was truly amazing. Thank you, JJ. If you'd like more information about 1 Million Cups, or you know somebody who would be good up here presenting, please visit our website, 1millioncups.com/St. Pete. We're always looking for new presenters. I'd also like to acknowledge Carly, who actually makes everything run here, sets everything up, and produces our weekly emails, which inform you who has presented in the past, how you can help them, who will present, and more information about the events that we talk about in the middle of our show. But I will stop so that Andrew can go up and tell us about new technology. Thank you.
Morning. I'm Andrew Mahota, owner of Newtown Connections, and I'm excited to talk to you today about my company, Newtown Connections. So before I get into that, I'll give you the backstory. I moved down here from Indiana about 5 years ago. Didn't really know anyone, and I moved down here for the weather. It's just not like today. So when I moved down here, I found it challenging to meet other like-minded young professionals. It's taken me 5 years to build my network, trying different events like 1 Million Cups and other just networking groups here in the area. And I kept running across other young professionals who had the same issue. Where do you go to find friends when you're a young professional and you're new in town? And because of that, I started Newtown Connections. We are the exclusive social club of young professionals. And what exactly is Newtown Connections? This is Newtown Connections. We run social events every single week for roughly 30 to 50 people here in St. Pete and also in Tampa. If you take a look at this picture, if you can see it, we have people from all around the world who move here to Tampa Bay. And we help them out and be connected to other like-minded young professionals every single week. And we have all types of professions, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, banker, accountant, doesn't matter. We bring all these people together every single week. So what makes Newtown Connections different than any other group out there is, one, we're not a networking group. We're a social club. All the people who come out to our events, they come there to make friends and new connections. They don't come there to network. Networking happens as a byproduct of what we do. So when you come into one of our events, first question is, hey, Andrew, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Versus, hey, Andrew, nice to meet you. What do you do? So it's a very warm, open conversation with all of our members. Everyone there is warm and welcoming to everyone who comes into our group. Secondarily, we have a screening process. We want to make sure that we have high-caliber young professionals who match our interests in our events every single week. Therefore, we FaceTime and Skype our potential members who come in. In addition to that, we also do casual introductions. So me and my team, we're always moving around, making sure that our members are talking to each other and that there's no man or woman standing there by themselves. Because when you come to a networking group or a social club, you want to meet people, you don't want to stand there by yourself. And our members know that. And they approach you to say, hey, what's your name, where are you from? Is this your first event? In addition to that, our events are they're weekly, they're more intimate, they have 30 to 50 people. And to accommodate everyone's busy schedule, we start at 7:30 at night for the most part. And we don't like name tags, so we do not wear name tags. In addition to the weekly events, we just launched a corporate training program last week. This is designed to help out corporations who have young professionals. Imagine I just graduated from USF, I work in downtown St. Pete. And my company says, Andrew, you need to go network to build your book of business. Do I know anything about network? Do I take a networking class in college? Probably not. This is where Newtown Connections comes in. We run quarterly training with these corporations to help our young professionals how to be a master networker, how to start a conversation, how to pull leads when you're at a networking event. That's what we do every week, and we tie that into our events every week as well. So we marry up that relationship of training young professionals and they get to practice it at our events every single week that they want to. So here's where we're at today. Currently, we're at over 150 members. We generate over $25,000 in revenue. $16,000 has come from general membership, and $9,000 has come from special events like our New Year's Eve party and also our Friendsgiving dinner. Some of these special events, our Friendsgiving dinner, we had 75 young professionals come out in November on a Tuesday night to have Thanksgiving with people they've never even met. So that gives you an idea of what we do just for some of these bigger events in Tampa Bay. And we only started 6 months ago, August 2015. So imagine where we are today, where we're going to be in 6 months as we continue to grow in Tampa Bay and take this elsewhere. And that leads me to scalability. We are Newtown Connections, we're not Tampa Bay Connections. The whole goal for what I'm doing here is to help people get connected in other cities outside of St. Pete and Tampa. And how do I do that? I need to find other people like me who are well connected in other cities, young professionals who have that compassion to help people. And through my alumni base, I've been able to make connections in other cities who are ready to take on Newtown Connections in other cities like Denver, San Diego, Charlotte. So we have these people lined up, and right now we're putting together the model and the package to take Newtown Connections to other cities, because there's no reason why my company cannot exist in every major city worldwide that has over 1 million people. So where we're headed today. So, funny story, we actually launched our first radio ads on 93.3 this morning to help get the word out there to young professionals in the community. We also use a texting platform called Text Us to send out our text messages to our members every other week to make sure that they're kept in the loop as to what we're doing and what our next events are. We're launching Salesforce in the next couple weeks to keep track of our members, our leads that come through the website. Obviously, that's Enterprise Edition, so you can imagine all the large companies that use Salesforce. We'll be doing the same. We also use Drupal on our backend database. It's one of the best databases out there to manage our members. We have the capability of going from 150 members today into the tens of thousands of members to make sure we're poised for growth. And last but not least is our mobile app. We're currently working with EIP on building out a digital app. It's based on a membership platform. So imagine you're a Newtown Connections member here in Tampa Bay and you're traveling to Atlanta. You have the app, we're in Atlanta. You can also go to events in Newtown Connections in Atlanta and meet other like-minded young professionals on Tuesday, Wednesday, or whenever you're there. So what we need help from the community is to help spread the word. Again, we're 6 months old. We've been flying under the radar just through my own personal connections. And now it's time to get the word out there, which is why we launched those radio ads today. We're also looking for capital investment to help fully build out the mobile app we're working on right now. And really the contacts in other cities. And again, I'm here today to talk to 1 million Cubs to get to 1 million members. I asked that question, do you think there's 1 million people worldwide that can use us? And that's why I'm here today. Thanks. Yes?
The app, where do you think that's going in terms of the ability to stay connected to these folks when you're not in a physical setting together? Do you have a vision for where that's going, or do you think keeping it in the physical realm is?
Yeah, so for us, our app is based on, basically if you have the app, you're there to look at our events, what's going on in other cities. Our app is it's not like Facebook, it's not like Meetup. So basically, when you have our app, you cannot message other members. So our app is designed to keep track of what's going on. We'll start running some promotions, some benefits through there as well with other local vendors. But again, we're in-person social club. I want people to meet in real life, not like start messaging people who I don't know. Yeah.
Talk about your revenue model.
Yeah, so we have 4 different membership packages. They start at $49 for 2 events, and they range up to $499 for all-inclusive events for the entire year. So we're pulling revenue from individual members. Say you guys found us on Facebook or you heard a radio ad, you go to our website, you sign up. And then our corporations, we just launched that last week. I have a couple RFPs out to companies here. And that is just based on how many young professionals they want us to train. So for that, the RFPs I put out there range from $300 to $400 per person. I put an RFP out to top off for a few $1,000s for the year. So that's kind of our two-pronged revenue model right now is the corporations and the individual memberships.
So for $50, I get to go. It's one event per month. So for $50, I basically get to go to 2 months events.
So we run events every single week.
Oh, every week. Okay.
Yeah. So say you sign up for 2 events, it's $49. you have 2 months to pick any 2 events you want to go to. So once you're a member, you log on to our online calendar, you see what events we're going to every single week, and you pick 2 out of at least the 8 events we're running, and you get to come to those 2 events whenever's convenient for you.
With the corporate kind of training program that you're doing,
Yeah.
is there a way to help the companies identify the young leaders within themselves? Sometimes, a company may have lots of people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, but not all of them are the type of people.
Yeah. So for us, so say we work at XYZ Corporation, they send us 20 young professionals there. We monitor, at our events, they're small enough, I have 30, 50 people, we monitor those people who come in. So if the company says, hey, can you give us feedback on who's standing out versus someone else, between me and my team of 3 of us, we keep track of feedback. We can manage 30 or 50 people every single event. So if John Smith stands out and says, man, John, he was there, he was killing it, he met all these people, everyone loves John, we can give that feedback back to the company easily, that's not a problem. Yeah.
What about the venues? What kind of venues do you?
So we go to like high-end venues, high-end restaurants. I'm a member of Station House over here. So I go to Station House, downtown St. Pete. We go to hotels, Birchwood, Epicurean over in Tampa. So really we go to the higher end, or new places too. We went to Suzu back in January. So we're always looking for different venues that people want to go to because people come to our events to meet people for one, but they also go for a venue. Like when we went to Station House, that was like right as they opened up. That brought in over 50 people because they've never been there and they wanted to check it out. Yeah.
As far as the events are concerned, are these just straight networking groups, or is there like a set speaker with a presentation involved? What type of events?
So we have, during the week, I call them socials. They're similar to happy hours, but they start later. And it's just 30, 50 people there just kind of mingling about. We also do events on weekends, which are more activity, event driven. 2 weeks ago, we had 10 people go out and do a Cupid run here in downtown St. Pete. When the weather gets better, we go paddleboarding. We do some brew bus tours with different breweries. So during the week, I call them socials. They're more happy hours, meet people. We do the activities. We haven't had a speaker in yet, but I foresee that down the road as we build our membership up.
Andrew, you're promoting the social aspect of your business model.
Yeah.
Suppose members begin exchanging and aggressively doing business card exchange
Yeah.
and prospecting.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
So, I'll give you an example. We had one young woman come out to one of our events. She's a guest of a member, and she thought, people think we're a networking group, and I have to explain that we're not a networking group. So she started, passing out business cards. I had to pull her aside and say, look, I appreciate you coming here. People do business with people who are our friends. So if you want to hand out business cards, do that when people ask you. Say, hey, by the way, what do you do? And they say, sure, oh my gosh, you're a financial advisor. I'm looking for a financial advisor. Then give out your business card then. Don't just come to our events and start whipping out business cards. Because again, that's not what we do. And it takes away from our group because when you come to our group, there is no pressure. We're not no one's there selling anything. It's not a singles club. It's just a good group of people to come there and connect and maybe do business. I definitely know we have people doing business there, but it's more casual. It's not the forced, I'm tossing out my business cards to everyone here in the room.
So if somebody were aggressively prospecting,
Yeah.
do you kind of discourage that?
I do. Yeah, because again, I want you to be successful in your business, but I want it to be more on a casual, not handing out business cards. Yeah.
Who is your quintessential client? Who is the typical person that you're going for? That's one question. And the other one is, when you have this training, if it's not networking, what specifically is the training, the relationship training that you do?
Yeah, so our average age of our members is 30 years old. So most people in our group fall between 25 and 35. They're professionals, they have a job, they're probably making, so they're paying us for a membership fee, they're probably making $40,000 and above. Again, we have all industries, so there's no particular industry that stands out. And from a training side, again, we're there to help people train and network. So again, our events are more social based, but at the same time, when you come to our events, they get to practice what they've learned about networking, talking to people, starting conversations. And because our group is less formal than a networking setting, it's easier to practice that and then take that out to a chamber event where everyone's wearing name tags, you're there with 100 people. So our events are more designed to help out, practice what you learned in our sessions, and then take that to some of the events like through the chamber and other events that have more formal settings. Yeah.
So other than the fact that I'm old and can't participate, is the number one purpose to build the social connections or the number one purpose to build business connections?
So the number one purpose is to build a community. Because when we do events here, like at Station House in downtown St. Pete, we have 50 people come out. We mainly live in downtown St. Pete. So we're helping these 50 young professionals build a community here in St. Pete. Imagine you just moved here from Chicago, you don't know anyone, you come to our group. You're meeting other young professionals who live in the St. Pete area. And imagine we do these events every single week. How awesome is that to help build a community here in St. Pete where you have these young professionals who don't know anyone, and in a matter of a month to 5 months of your membership, you've met 100 people. And then you feel connected to the community because you've met another 100 young professionals here in St. Pete. And you have stuff to do. I can go out to Beach Drive, I can go to a restaurant, I can go to the movies. I have stuff to do now. New friends who live around here. Because you guys all know when I do an event in Tampa, people in Tampa come here. When I do an event in St. Pete, people in St. Pete come here. We don't have many people who cross the bridge, as you guys are well aware. Yeah.
If it is primarily sort of a social mix, I'm not satisfied now why people would come back over and over and over again. You make your connections, you have your friends, and you got your community form. I would want to meet 30 new people every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, so what happens right now, people come in, say you met 30 or 50 people, and after that, you roll off. I mean, we have that happen. Right now, we're just at that first stage of getting some renewals. We've had 10 people who are up for renewal. We've actually had 5 renew already. So it's only the people because we have a number of doctors who work 7 shifts. This fulfills their social calendar. They don't have to worry about it. They come once a month. There's something to do on Wednesday night when they're off, and they get to meet people. So for them, that's worth the price of coming out once a month just to meet people, and they don't have to worry about setting up an event on their own or trying to meet new people on their own. So everyone's different. I mean, some people like to come out every month. Some people only meet 30 people and say, I'm good, and we're okay with that.
Did I understand you say earlier that the lady that was passing out business cards, she was a guest for one of your members?
Yes, we allow members to bring a guest one time.
So and there is no cost to that person?
She paid $10. Yeah.
So that's another revenue model?
Yes, I mean, $10 per guest, I mean, it picks up some additional revenue, but that really kind of helps cover some of the costs of our events. Yeah.
So if I pay $50 and I come twice, what do I get for my $25 per visit?
So,
Other than some introductions?
yes, we pick up your first drink, so if you need a drink, we pick up your first glass of wine or beer. And occasionally we work with different venues. Some venues provide food, sometimes they don't.
Okay.
So you do get one drink at every event you pay for, and again, food is dependent on the venue, so at least you get something out of it. And again, for $25 or $20 an event, you know, it's a little slightly more than a networking event, but at least you get a drink and some food possibly. Yeah.
The franchising, is that what you're getting ready to do with the nationwide?
We have yet to determine what's the best method. Is it a franchise or is it an affiliate, or do we start up different LLCs in different cities or different states? We're still working with our lawyer on that to figure that out. What's the best model? But it's possible it could be a franchise model or it could be a different model to figure out what's the best method. I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
Do you think it'll be difficult to find another Andrew like you in Chicago, Miami, San Diego?
I know it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But yes, it's going to be a challenge, and it's one reason why I'm here with 1 million cups. I need to find other people in other cities just like me. Yes, I use my alumni base to meet other people in other cities. I do travel around, but it is a challenge to find other people who are well connected and who want to start this. I mean, say you're well connected, but you're already successful in finance or you're in marketing, you're successful. Who wants to take on and start a new business? So I think it is a challenge, but I think that's something that will, it's going to take some time. Yeah.
We thought about getting an app.
Yeah. So we did.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we're working on that. Yeah.
I didn't understand the connection with Salesforce. Can you explain that again?
So when people sign up on our website, we're going to launch Salesforce next week or two. So when you sign up, all the information, your name, email, cell phone, your hobbies, interests, that is going to go into the cloud in Salesforce. So basically, we use that to track our leads because that comes in. Say we have 50 people apply on our website today. We have to make sure that they follow through on their FaceTime or Skype interview, whether they said yes or no, where they're at in the process. So as we grow, we need to use Salesforce to really track all those people. You you can imagine if we have 100 people a week or more, who's following up with these 100 people, where are they at in the process? And that's why we're going to start using Salesforce on that.
So that's for you to use, it's not integrated into your app, it's not for your members.
Yeah, it's not for our members, but it will be integrated into our app once we get to that point. Because again, Salesforce is not cheap for one, and then to build that in with the app is obviously a pretty hefty capital investment. Yeah.
So, why do you need an app for? I know it's, everybody, oh, you have an app for it. I mean, you said that, you have your website, so why the app?
It's a long-term vision. I mean, the whole goal here is you're a Newtown Connections member in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, you're a Newtown Connections member anywhere. So that
I understand that, but what prevents you from me being a member, going to a cloud and hopping into your website and getting anything?
It's just it's a young professional thing where people I want on my app. I don't want to go to a website. I just want to go on quickly. I'm logged in. I go to the app. I see where I'm in Atlanta based on my geolocation. It gives me the 5 events.
But you're competing for space in the phone. I mean, it's the storage.
Right, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for a membership fee and then. Yeah.
To kind of bounce off his thing, I agree with using the app because for me it's a lot easier to pull up an app that I'm already logged into, that already has my preferences versus going to a website that if my cookies have been deleted, recently on my phone, I gotta remember what email I used to sign up, what's my password. But by having an app and like you said, knowing automatically what my preferences are and where I am, I'm a lot more likely to use that than to go log into the website.
Yeah.
Is it okay to ask you what's your day job?
This is my job. I quit my job. I mean, my background, I'm a CPA. I quit my job to start this. I mean, because I truly believe in what we're doing. We have 150 members who thank me for coming out to our events. We've had one girl, Melanie, she moved here from Kentucky 4 months ago. Through our events, she's met 200 people because she's come out almost every single week to our events. So that tells me the power of what we're doing. We come to our events and she's well connected here in St. Pete. She's moved here 4 months ago. When I see those people like Melanie's who come through, that gives me the belief in what we're doing to really help out people who are new in town. You live through all your life in St. Pete, you want to meet some of these people who are coming into town.
Of the two revenue streams, the young professional and the corporation, how do you see the division of revenue ultimately in your business model projections? So I'm thinking probably that you're going to rely more on corporate revenues, and what are you going to do besides say, hey, so-and-so was really popular? What are you going to give back to the corporation?
So for us, I mean, it's hard to tell because again, we're so young, we're only 6 months old, but I would foresee the split in revenue almost be 50-50 ideally for individual memberships and corporations. And for corporations, I mean, I just know when I do lots of young professional networking, they send people out to network, and I see like there's people who don't know how to start a conversation, and I get stuck talking to someone for a half hour who maybe I don't want to talk to. And how do I exit that conversation without offending someone? So I see it. I think corporations will see the value in it. I mean, I've looked around. I haven't seen any other corporations who do training on networking or how to interact with other young professionals. So I think the corporations will see that, and we'll just have to, time will tell what is the revenue split between the two.
Are you teaching social skills? I mean, I know you're going at networking, which works better in the corporate setting,
Yeah,
but you're basically.
it's both. It's the soft skills that get
I mean, there obviously are a lot of people who don't have social skills.
Yeah, it takes time. It's a skill that's acquired and you're not really taught about it in college. I don't. There's never a class that when I was in college that we had for networking or how to be social.
Right, and those people, they walk in and just join.
Yeah, that's difficult. If I walk into this room, if I'm an introvert, how do I start a conversation with 100 people? I mean, it's difficult. I see it, and that's where we try to help people. Give them those conversation starters to get them all rolling.
Number one, I really like the idea on the corporate side. Actually, just as an aside, a good friend of mine works for Parsons Bickerhoff, a huge engineering firm, and half of her job is teaching new engineering grads not to be social lepers, which evidently could be a full-time job. So I like that if you can get into, get some good connections into the USFs and the UTs in the area, just to have this as an add-on course or at the end of somebody's graduation. But my other question is, building on this lady's question about what your ideal client is. You say young professionals, do you actually have a parameter of what is, I mean, I don't qualify, I'm either young or very professional, but is there actually, do you say, hey, people from 25 to 35, can I, as a guy pushing 50, can I join? I really don't want to, but do you have actual parameters?
So our parameter is really 22. Our oldest member is 42. So I don't have a hard age cut up, but honestly, it's young, up until early 40s for the most part. Because we have some women who are 41, 42, and they're still single, and they're very active, and you know. No. But I mean, we have people who are married, we have single people, we have divorced people, we have people with kids. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you have the energy, but at the same time, I know you're saying we can't have people who are twice the age of our 22-year-old. It gets a bit weird.
And do you qualify like professional? Do you say, look, you need to have a degree or you need to have...
No, I mean, because in that sense, like, what if I'm an entrepreneur, I go to college and start a business? I don't...
Okay.
And you don't have to have a degree as long as you have like a professional type job that you're... Again, because we're membership based, we have pricing, that tends to weed out people who may not qualify based on their own job because they don't want to pay, $48 to join us.
Just following up on that, how are we going to keep the young construction worker from coming in?
I'm fine with construction workers. I mean, I come from a blue collar town in Indiana.
Well, that's my question. When you talk professionals,
Yeah.
you're talking this particular class, and then you open it up. I mean, how can you discriminate? And I guess what you're saying, you're not, it's going to be self-determined.
No, I mean, if a construction worker comes up and says, hey, I just moved here, we have engineers, we have construction, I mean, if you're a construction worker, you come through, you do a FaceTime interview, and I'm like, oh, you're a good person, you want to meet people, that's fine with me.
But what you said, you're a good person. I guess what I'm trying to say, are you going to try to screen people?
That's what we do. We screen people in. I mean, we have a conversation with you, like, why do you move here? Why do you want to join Newtown Connections? What are your hobbies? What are your interests? Yes, we say no to people. I mean, this is an exclusive social club. We've interviewed over 300 people. We said no to 20 people out of 300.
Okay, any legal issues with that?
It's a private club. We can say no to people. Yeah.
Thank you. This is great. And if you could just remind us again, what can the community do for Newtown Connections?
So, I mean, again, help us get the word out there. If you're a corporation, you know other young professionals here, whether they're new in town or looking to meet people, send them to our website. It's newtownconnections.com. You can find us on Facebook, but really the big push is go to the website. If you know anyone who's looking to make new connections, go to newtownconnections.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all again for coming and braving the weather. I know it's kind of crazy out there, especially came from Tampa. But again, I'm up here just to tell you about some of the front events that are coming up over the next couple weeks. Just so you guys all know, if you have interest in getting more information about these events, we have a mailing list that you can sign up for right by the door, where we'll link you to all of this information. This week is the last week to sign up for the next information session for the Caregiver Accelerator. It's specific to people in the caregiver industry looking to find a business value out of their idea. So it's a great 9-week course. So if you have any other questions about that, myself or Danielle would be happy to give you some more information on it. All of these, again, will be linked at the end of the week, so I'll go ahead and skip all over those since you'll hear about them a little later, and I will get out of your way. And we have a former presenter, Brad, who actually presented last time a different application, and he has a new app that he is going to be presenting today called Smooth. So as we're getting the technical difficulties set up, I guess I'll go into some more info about the event itself. Thunderdome Thursday is a networking event that is Mark Swanson. A lot of you might have heard him a couple weeks ago talking about it. And then you also have Gasparilla Interactive. We do have a discount code. It's a 2-day event with all different types of speakers. It's a really close. It's the second year they've done it, so it's getting even bigger every single year. All right, well, okay, I'll shut up now. All right, so again, here is Brad. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you. This is actually our second time presenting here at Million Cups. We presented last year, and last voice, audio, and now video through a tool chain. And last year, we decided, we really need to focus and create some products. And we ended up focusing on an interesting product that, a year ago, you said, hey, are you going to be building a matchmaking dating app? I said, probably not, but that's exactly where we ended up. And we have a very unique twist on this concept that we think is going to provide pretty good competitive value, but also really good value and protection for our customers. And to start with, we have a little product video that should automatically play and help get across the concept.
Hi, welcome to Smooth, a great way to meet new people. The key to any great relationship is trust. But how are we sure that the people that we meet are worthy of our trust? We have all had to deal with that person that just really can't take a hint. It makes us regret that we gave them our phone number, and that we had to continually block them from all of our social media. So how do we protect our information while we work on building up our relationships? We can do this by using Smooth, a unique app that allows you to build trust in people at your own pace. Right away you'll notice that everyone's profile has a voiceover. That's because we believe listening to someone talk is a great way to know them better. You are always in control of the information that you share. Send as many text messages as you want. Leave a voicemail. Or place a phone call, while keeping your contact information private until you're ready to share it. So unlock the key to finding your new relationship today. Download Smooth today for your iOS or Android device. Thank you.
So, very simple concept. And our unique advantage, competitive advantage, when you think of things like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and stuff like that, it's built upon three things we say no to and one thing that we say yes to. So the first thing is we don't tie into social media. If you look at all the competing applications out there, what's the first thing they make you do? You have to log in with your Facebook account, which gives them a ton of information about you. It's Facebook information that hey, you're looking to date people, and then when you actually use the app, they'll put up a whole bunch of messages like, you see some stranger that tells you, hey, you have like 5 friends in common, or so-and-so works here. They actually pull over your work information. And there's a lot of people that don't necessarily want to share that much information, and they're actually looking for a relationship. We don't collect any personal information. If you think about like the Ashley Madison hack and some other breaches, the best way not to give up someone's information is to not collect it in the first place. So we don't, not even an email address. You don't even need to provide that to us. No advertising, because the moment you do advertising, you have to give up information to the advertisers. Usually it's an aggregate form of still. Most valuable advertising has to be targeted, so you have to give up a lot of information to the advertisers. And the unique thing that we have in our application compared to others is you can actually place a phone call right through the app that match with. And in doing so, there is no sharing of your phone number or anything like that. So the big value proposition for our application, you can browse people, you can hear them, you can talk to them, send voicemails, and actually place a phone call. And you've never had to share any information with that person until you actually feel comfortable doing so. All right, so how are we going to do the marketing? Everything in our app, we're going to be focused on people that are actually looking for relationships. And when you look at the existing applications out there, you look at people's profiles, more than half the people on those sites already identify themselves as our potential customers because they put these magic words in their profile. And everyone's probably doing this. Not looking for a hookup. Every time I see that when I'm browsing people's profiles and doing research, I'm like, that's my customer. Right? Because this is the type of app that's going to appeal to them.
What was that? Not looking for
a hookup. So to start, we're actually looking at working with a lot of young professional organizations. It's people that are, starting their careers out. They're starting to learn the value of discretion, and they understand sometimes it's not best to always place your immediate trust in someone. And everyone has a story of, you know, they gave a number or contact information and someone never read it. Our first big launch event is actually with the St. Pete Young Professionals Group in March 24th. We're the leadership sponsor of that event. Next, we're looking to go to several key cities in Florida. We're starting right here in St. Pete and Tampa. Next will be Gainesville, Orlando, Tallahassee, all cities that have one thing in common, a very large university where once we go there and we get a lot of college students using the apps, once they go home, they're going to help spread it out for us primarily nationally. And our goal is to actually have an exit from our company on this product in less than 2 years. Because once we get on the radar, we get to several markets, we're going to be a pretty good candidate to be bought out by some of the larger groups. And with that, we're going to open it up to questions. Also, you can download it right now. It is all built, it is out there, and ready to go.
So you say that your target customer is relationship focused. I got the exact opposite. I mean, if everything is anonymous in there, there's none of that personal information. You can contact people directly through without revealing your own contact information, things like that. It seems like it lends itself to a more casual.
That's an interesting, because we've got, talking to everybody, we actually got the exact opposite. We actually met with Andrew, because I've known him for a while, like a month, maybe a few weeks ago. The first thing he said is that similar to like Match.com. I think the main thing that we saw was we had people that, as Brad said in the presentation, once they are looking for a relationship, but they're afraid because there's crazy people out there that are going to constantly track them down. So for them to be able to make calls and talk to that person, let's say 5 times before giving out their contact information, not necessarily looking for a hookup, makes them feel safer if they're in that relationship, looking for that relationship. And again, that's kind of the feedback that we've gotten. But I see where you're, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when Tinder or Match or whatever collect all that personal information, part of it is theoretically vetting.
Right.
That the person is not a serial killer on there. Right. So your process of vetting is just that somebody can personally.
Yeah, I vet myself on my own.
And there is also another thing too. Tinder, if you use those apps, they're pretty rampant with a lot of scams and a lot of bots on there, a lot of fake profiles. And with us, since everything is voice-based, you have to have a voice over to yourself. It's a lot harder for them to try to create these bots, plus the technology that we have in the back end. Someone's not going to be able to create 10 different profiles because we actually use voice recognition and we'll say, yep, it's the same person and blah.
And if I talk to this person 5 times, I think I can find out if they're, how creepy they are compared to just looking at their Facebook and they have all these lies up there. So again, that's what we're going with. The human interaction hopefully allows you to vet it a little bit more.
And you know, you call someone up, you go on a date, doesn't work out, you go match with them, they can't contact you.
I think his point is well taken. I can see where the appeal of your model would appeal to somebody who wants to gain more confidence in the person that they may meet. On the other hand, it also could be used by somebody that understands how the system works, that is going to game the system, have a conversation that gets them to acquire the contact information, gets them to acquire a meetup. And really, that person knows nothing about them when they meet to accept what the other person is willing to give. So, as a resolution to that, can you envision offering some sort of vetting or background search for your customers?
Yes. So part of our long-term roadmap is to actually offer different tiers of service, and this is actually an idea that was spurred after our conversations with Andrew. What we're looking to do is essentially have we call it bronze tier, premier, whatever. But that person would pay the fee, and we would have had someone interview them basically. One, verify that they are what they say they are. They're actually look like what they do in the picture, that sort of stuff. So we're still working out the ideas of that, but that is part of the roadmap. The way we make revenue off of this model right now, everything in the app is free, except for the real-time calls. And it's as little as when you match to someone, you pay 99 cents a minute. conversations on most of these tools, it invariably ends up with someone asking the other person for their phone number. And then they start communicating outside that app. So we're trying to keep them inside of our app, where you don't have to give up your phone number. And, if something goes south, there's also a reporting mechanism, so if someone does try to scam someone or it's dangerous or whatever, we can block them forever from the service.
Well, thank you for the presentation. And as a consumer, I love the idea of no data collection and no advertising. But does that not limit your revenue potential? And maybe this goes back to the question, or your response to that gentleman about scalability and offering tiered packages. If you're going to do that, will that entail data collection in the future? Kind of what is the future of a lot of these things that at least in the initial model?
I envision that we won't be. And, we don't expect everyone to be a paying customer. People can get a lot of value out of applications without ever giving us a cent. But we don't need 30%, we don't need 10%, we don't need 2%. Even less than 1% of people actually pay for phone calls or buy a subscription, we're making a lot of revenue. Yeah. The back-end costs actually to run this system and scale it up are very, very, very small. And then looking forward, if you look at the mobile space and all the forces that are kind of aligning against advertising, right? I was actually at one of the Worldwide 3 standards meetings a few months ago, right when Apple announced that they're allowing ad blockers on iOS. And they're not just allowing them for browsing, they actually can block ads inside of applications. Google also has to now allow ad blockers on Android. And people are starting to realize that, almost no one has an unlimited data plan anymore, and having 60%, 80% of their data being emailed to advertising, people are waking up to that. So there's a big push against advertising in the mobile space. So that's not something I want to bank on for revenue in the future. So the other reason why we're also going to roll out from city to city first, that lets itself to that because it is all it's a regional type app, but we get to refine the model, right? If we go here, we go to Orlando and Gainesville, we get enough people, we see exactly how they're using it. Maybe we will charge for other things than that. We can't just limit the call and things like that. But I don't think we're ever going to get down to the point of saying, give us your Facebook account. That's going to be a big feature for us. Plus, it also keeps our competitors at bay because they would have to completely unravel everything about their operations to try to compete with us because they already want it.
If I could follow up really quick, what is the mechanism for the phone calls? Are you using third-party service?
No, it's our service. Using WebRTC. I'm the tech guy. Talk afterward.
You mentioned that you were here previously presenting on a different startup venture. Are you still currently involved in that?
Yes.
And then also, how did you end up with this?
So our core technology was a toolkit for people to build applications that take advantage of voice, audio, and video. And it's kind of hard to sell a mobile toolkit if you don't already have a portfolio of applications using it. So we decided to take a Microsoft term, eat your own dog food, and start building apps using your own stuff. And we kind of stumbled on this. And when we ran through the numbers and said, this could just be our product. And we still have our toolkit, and we're still working with actually a local VoIP company to be our first customer on it. But this has bigger potential and faster velocity as well. Think of it in that terms.
Can you explain more about how the matching itself happens? Because I'll self-admittedly, I was one of the lucky people that have tried online dating. I tried it for 24 hours and got 75 messages in 24 hours. So needless to say, that was the end of my online dating. So can you explain more about that process?
So the first thing to take a step back in online dating, it's a very interesting psychology that's going on, at least in heterosexual relationships. Women are in complete, absolute control of the conversation, right? Murray's experience is very common. The moment a woman goes on those sites, she's, just, flooded with messages and contacts. We're using a model that Tinder popularized, which means we don't have to take this road, where it's kind of like a double anonymous liking mechanism. You see people's profiles, you say you like them. They would have had to see your profile, and if they say they like you, we call it a match, and now you're allowed to talk. Right? And either person can send an initial message. In ours, Bumble, there's women have to send a message first, but we allow either party to send a message. You can completely stop the conversation anytime you want, and the person just goes back. So if you sign up, you're not going to be flooded with messages. You can create your profile and just sit there and browse people all day long and not like anyone. You'll never get a message. It's only the people that mutually like each other.
What's been the initial reception?
So we've got a very, very small rollout, a little bit of online advertising, and we got roughly 30 to 40 people just using it and trying it out. They like the core concept. They really like the ability to hear someone first before making a decision, and not just basing it on the picture, right? Because a lot of times when you hear someone that can either gravitate you towards someone or push you away based on how they carry themselves. So that was good feedback. Negative feedback, we need to work on our user interface a little bit more, polish it up. This is our MVP, if you want to call it that. But the core concept of the early users, they like it. And we went for people that are using existing products that are in the market.
Probably not necessarily aimed at me, and as I discussed before, I'm not young and not your target audience. But it would seem that the thing that differentiates you from, I'm familiar with Match, I've been on Match before, I've never really used Tinder, but it seems the thing that differentiates you is the voice and the voicemail application. But don't most people in your target demographic not want to talk on the phone? Isn't that the whole idea behind texting?
Usually before they go to a date and actually meet someone, they will have that phone call. Absolutely. Most people, they'll text back and forth without some messages. Some people will meet up without actually talking to the other person. Some people don't. It's not going to be a product for everyone. Right? When I look at the existing user base that's out there, there's plenty of people that love the more random nature of things. But more than 50% of them are looking for something else. Looking for something a little bit more serious. And they've also had maybe some negative experiences in the past. That's our big customer base right there.
Well, what's to stop Match from saying, hey, that's a good idea, we're going to add this anonymous voice message thing on our app?
Because they already collect a lot of other information as well that they also potentially leak. But there's nothing stopping Match.
Okay.
But Match, from a online mobile standpoint, is a very weak competitor to the Tinder, Hinge, bubbles. They're really the market leaders.
Taking a step further, when you sign up, and I ask everybody to check it out, download it, use this code, but you don't have to put an email address in, right? We don't tell you this. You can put like a username. You don't even have to put your name in there. So again, the only thing the person really knows is your voice. I mean, whatever picture you put in your picture, but the fact that we're not even taking your email address, you can give us the email address just in case you have an issue with password or whatever, so we can you can ask us to reset your password, but you don't even have to give your email address in. So it's really can be anonymous.
With Snapchat and all these other apps being so popular as far as short videos, have you thought about instead of video, instead of a voiceover doing a short video clip, because that's more of a personality driver.
Yes, and there is a dating app that's out there that does that exactly. Right? You basically put a short type of Vine style videos and they've had a lot of their user base just hasn't grown that much because people, it's a lot harder to make yourself look good in a short video. Right? And so people say, take it. Whereas a voiceover is a little bit easier because you don't have to have your hair done, still get your PJs, that sort of thing.
But it's about integrity. What do you want to see someone's like real personality versus picture? With glamorized picture with a voiceover where they have to practice, but that's not really them.
So one of the things we're going to add in the next version, we have it working right now in the past, is actually video call. So you can just essentially FaceTime right through the application.
when you guys stand up there and talk about how you don't have to provide an email, you don't have to provide your information, as a female, that sounds scary. To me, it sounds very scary. And I know you've talked about different guys that have talked to and tested. I mean, do you get that response from females, or are females really buying into it?
We get both, and it's one of the things where, well, how do I know that person's going to say they are? Well, that's, you never really knew that, even with big business systems out there. Like, I have a couple Tinder accounts myself. Do research. They're all fake. Okay, they're not me, and I'm sitting on there, swiping on them. I don't actually try to match anything or anything like that. I just use it to look at profiles. So there's already a false sense of safety there with a lot of existing applications, and it really falls back on, it's difficult to verify someone else's info. It's more about protecting yours. Right? When you look at Tinder right now, there's already been some pretty bad cases of stalking and people getting hurt because someone found them on Tinder. Tinder allows you to set the search radius down to a mile. Right? You can see everyone's profile in a mile. Well, okay, so I know in a mile this person is alone, basically in their house, among other things. So, you can find out where someone works, find out all their phone connections. It gives up way too much information, but unfortunately there's bad people out there that are taking advantage of that. So that's, what we're trying to do is protect your information instead of giving it out.
And to add to that, protecting your information, I think, go back to the ability to make those voice calls, and for 99 cents I can make unlimited voice calls with this person. All of a sudden you can vet this person out, and at that point, if you want to meet them, ask for their information, verify their information. So again, you're not giving your information up during that first phone call. It might be 6 phone calls where you're comfortable that they're going to give you your information because after one phone call, you can realize this person's a stalker. Oh no, they have my information. So, it's a process. It might take 6 or 7 phone calls.
Or you just might text them and just meet up at, some local place in public. We're also not going to block. Someone asked, are you going to keep people from texting their phone number back and forth? No, if they really want to, that's fine. It goes back to our value prop. If someone's really pressuring you for your phone number and stuff like that, they're not willing to pay 99 cents, they're probably not worth it. It's kind of hard work.
So you said that your exit strategy is to sell in 2 years.
Yeah.
So what is you're going to be selling? What's the value of somebody?
So,
you don't have any data.
Well, the value is we want to build up a sustainable revenue model based on calling, maybe based on having a tiered service where we have some extra screening and vetting, and that's what we want to build up in the next 12 to 18 months to prove that the model works. And at that point, once we prove it works, that's where, if you look at IAC, which is a large consortium of online companies, they own about 12 companies, but they also own a ton of regular online properties, sports sites, and all sorts of stuff. We would be a prime candidate to sell.
As a communications company or?
It's selling the product, just for the whole, either or. But that would be the exit for our investors. Right? We're not looking at something like this. It's not a 5 to 6 year exit. 5 to 6 years, who knows what we can do. So, 24-month plan is.
No, I understand that. My problem is I have a hard time understanding what is it that you're going to be selling. The revenue, cash flow at that time?
Well, we would sell the company in there.
No, I know, but based on what time?
The value would be that if they prove out the revenue model, but we're only in 6 or 7 great markets. So we're going to sell you at this price, and now you get to take it nationally or globally and get the return on that. Scale that. I would love to take this and make this a huge national thing in product and just grow it up, organically. But realistically, once we get traction, we get in several markets, we'll be on these other companies' radar and we'll get offers. So realistically, we would sell that.
So how can the community help you out? How can you further your goal?
All right, that's left with that. So help us spread the word. Even if you're married, you're already in a relationship, just downloading that helps us out. You don't have to create a profile, but just downloading it increases our count on the store, gives us more visibility. But just try it out, and it helps spread the word. We are looking to raise seed capital to help us expand this year in other markets. So we're definitely interested in talking to people about that and giving us feedback. That's always an important thing. We've already made a lot of changes based on the early feedback that we've gotten. And every time someone uses it, they find a neat twist or another idea that will help make the product better. So that's what we need.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out and braving the wet weather today. We always want to say thank you to Kawa for keeping us warm and caffeinated on days like this. If you are interested in applying to present and have any questions, talk to any one of us up here. We're always trying to keep a good stream of startups, and it's anywhere from idea stage to 4 years of business. So if you want to set out your idea in front of an audience like this and get some feedback, this is a very friendly platform to do that. So have a great week.